When you look at your life and see what you have lost, when you remember the moments that were stolen from you, the relationships that broke your heart, the dreams that slipped through your fingers, I want you to know this is not the end of your story. There is a promise that runs deeper than any disappointment. There is a faithfulness greater than any setback you have faced. You may feel empty today. You may feel like your hope has been shattered, but the one who holds tomorrow in his hands is the same one who will restore to you more than you ever imagined. You have not been forgotten. You have not been overlooked. Every tear you have cried has been seen. Every burden you have carried has been counted. And there is a time appointed when all that has been taken from you will be returned in abundance. Sometimes life will try to convince you that you will never laugh again, never feel peace again, never find strength again. But in the quiet moments, listen to the voice that whispers, I am not finished with you. I will repay you with so much more than you lost. You might have given up on yourself, but there is grace that will lift you up again. There is mercy that will rebuild the broken places in your heart. You have been shaped by every trial you endured. You have been prepared by every season you survived. And you will see the goodness that was promised to you, even when it feels like nothing is changing, even when your prayers seem unanswered. Remember that no struggle is wasted, no sacrifice is unseen. What you have planted in faith will rise in due time. You will walk into blessings you did not earn and favor you did not expect. Because the measure you have given, the love you have poured out, the forgiveness you have offered, all of it is coming back to you, multiplied beyond measure. Do not settle for the lie that your best days are behind you. Do not let bitterness steal your joy. Lift your eyes and know that restoration is coming, healing is coming, new beginnings are coming. What was meant to destroy you will be turned into the very thing that lifts you higher. You will look back one day and see how every loss was an opportunity for something greater to be born. Every closed door was making room for a better way. Every heartbreak was preparing you for a deeper love. Hold on to hope, because the story is not over. You will receive so much more than you lost. And when it comes, you will know it could only have been by grace. When you stand in the middle of loss, when everything you depended on has slipped away, it is easy to believe this is the final chapter, that you have reached the end of your strength, and there is nothing left to look forward to. But what you must understand deep within your spirit is that your losses are not the end of your story. There is a hidden purpose behind every moment of pain, every disappointment that tried to crush your hope, and every setback that seemed too heavy to bear. You were never promised that life would be free from trials. You were never guaranteed that your heart would never ache. But you were given the assurance that no matter what comes against you, there is a power working all things together for your good. When you see something precious taken from you, when you watch a dream collapse or a door close in your face, you may be tempted to believe that you are finished, that you have no more to give and nothing more to become. But this is not the truth, because the author of your story does not end on the page of defeat. You may be in a chapter of sorrow, but the story has many more pages waiting to be written. You are being shaped even in your emptiness. You are being prepared even in the silence. You are being strengthened in ways you cannot yet understand, and though you cannot see how it will all work out, there will come a day when you look back and see how every loss made room for something greater. Every unanswered prayer was protection in disguise, and every heartbreak carved out space for a deeper joy. You must hold on to the promise that your life has a purpose beyond the pain. You were created with a destiny that does not end in defeat, and no loss you have suffered can erase the value of who you are. There are blessings prepared for you that cannot be stolen by circumstance. There is restoration that goes beyond simply replacing what you lost. It is a restoration that brings back more than you could have built on your own. Your tears have watered the ground for a harvest you have yet to see. Your faithfulness in the dark seasons has been recorded, and it will not be forgotten. You have been entrusted with trials not to break you, but to build something unshakable inside you. There is a resilience being formed in your spirit that no storm can destroy, and there is a testimony growing in your life that will one day encourage others who are walking through the same valleys you have known, though you may feel weary and worn, though you may feel that too much has been taken from you to ever rebuild. Remember that nothing is impossible for the one who restores all things. What looks like an ending is often a new beginning in disguise. What feels like a burial is often a planting. You are not being buried to be forgotten. You are being planted to rise again stronger and more fruitful than you were before. Your losses have not disqualified you. They have not defined you. They are simply part of the journey toward the fulfillment of every promise spoken over your life. So do not give up when the road feels long. Do not surrender your hope when you cannot see the way forward, because the story is still unfolding, and the final word over your life will not be loss. It will not be emptiness. It will be restoration, purpose, and blessing beyond what you could have dreamed. Trust that your losses are temporary, but what is being built inside you will last forever. Every struggle you have walked through and every tear that has slipped down your face have been fully seen and known. Even in the moments you felt completely alone, when no one around you seemed to understand the depth of your pain or the weight pressing on your heart, there was an unseen witness who never looked away. You were never invisible, not for a single second. The silent nights you spent questioning your worth, the long days you endured with a quiet ache in your soul, they have all been counted and held in compassion. You did not cry in vain. You did not carry those burdens for nothing. Even if people around you overlooked your efforts or dismissed your struggles as insignificant, every sacrifice you made, every act of faith you offered when it would have been easier to give up, has been recorded with care and love. Your suffering has a purpose that you may not fully grasp today. And though you may have tried to hide your tears from the world, they have not been hidden from the eyes that matter most. In your weakness, you have shown strength that you did not even realize you possessed. When you kept walking forward despite the exhaustion, when you kept believing for better days, even as your heart was breaking, you were proving that your faith is more powerful than any circumstance trying to defeat you. There are moments you might have wondered if your pain would ever end, or if your prayers would ever be answered. You may have whispered in the darkness that you could not take one more disappointment, but still you woke up each morning and faced another day, and this courage did not go unnoticed. Every tear has been like a seed planted in the soil of your life, and even if you cannot yet see what is growing beneath the surface, there is a promise that those tears will bring forth something beautiful in their time. Nothing you have walked through has been wasted. No heartbreak, no betrayal, no silent suffering has been without meaning. Your story is being woven together with threads of grace, and one day you will understand why you had to endure what you did. You will see how the darkest nights prepared you for the brightest mornings, and how the seasons that felt like endings were really making space for something more lasting and true. In the waiting, in the sorrow, in the moments you felt invisible and unheard, you were being held closer than you realized. Your cries were not ignored, and your sighs were not brushed aside. You have been carried through every trial by a love that will never abandon you. There is a record of your faithfulness, a remembrance of your perseverance, and nothing can erase it. You are not forgotten. You are not lost among the millions of other souls crying out for help. You are known fully, you are seen completely, and you are loved beyond measure. Take comfort in knowing that no struggle has slipped through the cracks. No tear has been too small to matter. Your life, your suffering, and your endurance are precious beyond anything you can imagine. Hold on to this truth when the days feel long and the nights feel empty. Hold on to the assurance that what you have carried has been witnessed with compassion, and in due time, every tear you have shed will be answered with joy you cannot yet comprehend. Your struggles are not forgotten. Your burdens are not ignored. And there will be a day when you will see how every moment of pain was shaping a strength and a purpose inside you that nothing and no one can ever take away. There is a promise spoken over your life that no loss or disappointment can cancel. A promise that renewal and blessing are prepared for you no matter how broken things may seem right now. You may look around and see only empty places where hope used to live. You may feel that too much time has passed and too much damage has been done to ever experience joy again. But there is a restoration that goes beyond simply replacing what you lost. It is a restoration that brings back more, multiplied and overflowing in ways you cannot yet imagine. You were not created to stay in a place of sorrow forever. You were not meant to build your life around what was taken from you. There is a season coming when all the seeds you planted in faith will burst into life, and you will stand amazed at how the barren ground begins to bloom again. The blessings that are promised to you are not small or partial. They are full and abundant, pressed down, shaken together, and running over. You may feel unworthy of receiving so much good after so many setbacks, but grace does not measure worthiness the way people do. Grace does not count your failures or replay your regrets. It simply pours out what has been prepared for you since the beginning, and nothing can stop it. Even when you have lost everything you thought you needed to be happy, even when your heart has been shattered into pieces, there is still something more waiting for you. There is still a purpose and a joy that will rise from the ashes of your disappointment. You may not understand how this will happen. You may not be able to see any sign that things are about to change, but in the unseen places, doors are being opened, paths are being made straight, and what once looked impossible is quietly becoming possible. When the right time comes, you will step into blessings so rich and so perfect that you will know they were designed especially for you. No one else can take what has been set aside with your name on it. No force can steal what has been ordained to come into your life. There is a reason your heart has kept beating through the trials, a reason your spirit has not given up even in the darkest moments. You were born to walk into these blessings, to receive more than you thought you deserved, and to see how every loss prepared you to appreciate every gift more deeply. You will not have to strive or manipulate or compromise yourself to get it. What is yours will find you. The blessings will overtake you and surround you, and you will finally understand that no part of your story has been wasted. Every sorrow you endured, every night you spent crying, every moment you wondered if you would ever smile again has been leading you to this place of restoration. You will look back and see that nothing was random, nothing was meaningless. It was all part of a greater plan to fill your life with something so much better than what you thought you lost. Do not settle for a life defined by what has been taken from you. Do not let bitterness and regret build walls around your heart. Stay open, stay expectant, because the renewal that is coming will surprise you with its beauty and its timing. The blessing will not only heal what was broken, but also strengthen you to become everything you were created to be. And when it comes, you will know without a doubt that you were never abandoned. You were never forgotten. You were simply being prepared for more than you could ever ask or imagine. There will always be a voice in the back of your mind trying to convince you that your best days are behind you, that because you have suffered so many losses, you will never again experience true joy or purpose. But this is nothing more than a lie designed to keep you stuck in regret and disappointment. You were not created to dwell in memories of the past as if nothing good could ever happen again. You were created to keep moving forward, to grow through every season, and to believe that something better is still ahead. The fact that you are still here, still breathing, still able to hope even in small ways, is evidence that your story is not finished. Every day you wake up is a reminder that there are chapters yet to be written, blessings yet to unfold, and new beginnings waiting to rise from the ruins of what once was. It can be so tempting to look at the mistakes you made or the opportunities you missed and think that you have ruined your chance at a beautiful life. It can feel as though all you will ever have is what you once held. But you need to understand that nothing is beyond redemption. No experience, no failure, no heartbreak can keep you from the future that has been prepared for you. The purpose planted in you from the beginning has not expired. It has not been canceled. It is still alive inside you, waiting for you to trust that what you see today is not all there is. You have to decide that you will not let the past define the rest of your days. You have to choose to let go of the bitterness that tries to cling to your heart and whisper that it is safer never to hope again, because hope is the light that guides you out of the darkness. It is the courage that lifts your eyes when everything in you wants to look down and give up. The next season of your life holds things that will make you grateful you did not quit. There are moments ahead that will make you understand why you had to walk through the pain you did. You will see how every struggle built a strength in you that could not have come any other way. The compassion you have now for others, the understanding you carry for people who are hurting, the wisdom you have earned through the trials, these are treasures that will serve you and bless others in ways you cannot yet see. Do not believe for one moment that it is too late for you. Do not allow the heaviness of the past to convince you that the future has nothing left to offer. The one who makes all things new has not stopped working in your life. He is not limited by time or circumstance, and he does not need perfect conditions to bring about a miracle. Sometimes all he needs is your willingness to open your heart just a little bit and believe that something beautiful can be born even in the most unlikely places. Do not let what you have lost blind you to what is still possible. Your dreams can be restored, your purpose can be revived, and your life can still become more fulfilling and meaningful than you ever imagined. Keep going. Keep believing. Because the lie that your best days are behind you is powerless if you refuse to agree with it. There is more ahead, more love, more purpose, more joy, and more life waiting for you to embrace it. And when you step into it, you will see that nothing was wasted and nothing was truly lost, because every ending was making space for a new and better beginning. Bitterness has a way of creeping into your heart so quietly that you don't even realize it is taking root until you wake up one day and all you feel is the dull ache of resentment. It convinces you that you are protecting yourself by holding on to the pain, that you are keeping yourself safe from ever being hurt again. But in reality, it is only stealing your joy and closing off your heart to the good that is trying to find you. You cannot walk forward into a life of peace and restoration while your hands are still clinging to the disappointments of the past. You have to make the brave decision to let go, not because what happened was fair or right, not because you are pretending it did not hurt, but because you were never meant to be chained to it forever. You were created for freedom, for a heart that can feel hope again, for a spirit that can rise up even after the worst moments have tried to bury you. Bitterness will always try to convince you that it is your ally, that it is keeping you strong. But what it really does is build walls so high that you can no longer see the beauty waiting beyond them. It poisons every thought, every relationship, every dream you dare to have. And it keeps you living in the shadow of what was instead of the light of what could be. You have to choose to lift your eyes, to look past the pain and into the promise that there is more to your story than this season of sorrow. It is not easy to release what has wounded you so deeply. It is not simple to forgive the people who broke your trust or the circumstances that shattered your plans. But the freedom on the other side of that release is worth every tear you cry along the way. When you let go of bitterness, you make room for peace to enter your life again. You allow joy to grow in places that have been barren for so long. You open your heart to receive the blessings that have been waiting patiently for you to be ready, and you give yourself permission to start over. There is a new beginning prepared for you that will not look like what you lost. It will be something better, something more true to who you have become through it all. And when you finally step into it, you will understand that bitterness was never your protector. It was only a prison. You have to decide that you will not let the past define you any longer. You are more than what happened to you, more than what was taken, more than the mistakes you regret. You are a living story of resilience, of grace that has carried you further than you ever thought you could go. When you feel the old anger trying to rise again, remind yourself that you have already survived the worst of it. You have already endured what was meant to break you. And now you get to choose a different path. You get to choose peace over bitterness, hope over despair, love over fear. No one else can make this choice for you. No one else can decide how long you will carry the weight of what you cannot change. You have the power to lay it down, to surrender the bitterness, and make space for something new to be born. And when you do, you will discover that the joy you thought you had lost forever was only waiting behind the walls you had built. You will see that healing is possible, that peace is real, and that your future is brighter than any darkness you have known. You will finally be free to live with a heart unburdened, a heart open to receive all the goodness that has been waiting for you to say yes to it. Grace has a way of taking everything you have given, every act of kindness, every sacrifice made in silence, every moment you chose love over bitterness, and multiplying it far beyond what you ever thought possible. When you feel like your efforts have gone unnoticed, or that all your giving has only left you empty, you must remember that nothing you have poured out in sincerity is ever wasted. You might have shown compassion to someone who could never repay you, or given your time and strength when no one even bothered to say thank you. And it may seem as though all that energy vanished without producing any reward. But grace is always working quietly behind the scenes, storing up every good seed you have planted, preparing a harvest you cannot yet see. You will never fully know how your love has rippled out to touch people you have never met, how your forgiveness has healed wounds in others that you could not even imagine, how your patience has inspired someone to keep going when they were about to give up. Every time you chose to believe in goodness, when it would have been easier to shut your heart down, you were building a legacy that cannot be erased. There is a measure of blessing that is set aside only for those who keep giving even when it feels like nothing is coming back, only for those who continue to show mercy when they have every reason to walk away. Grace sees what no one else sees. Grace keeps record of what this world often ignores, and in the right moment, it will return it to you multiplied, pressed down and overflowing. You might have spent years thinking your sacrifices were in vain, that all the love you gave only led to disappointment, but one day you will look back and see that every loss became the soil for a harvest so much richer than you imagined. You will realize that you were never giving alone, that every moment you reached out in kindness or served in humility, you were partnering with something eternal, something stronger than any rejection or failure. When you feel tired of giving, when you feel that your heart has nothing left to offer, remember that grace is not about your strength or your effort alone. It is about what happens when your willingness meets a power greater than yourself. It is about a promise that you will reap in due season if you do not give up, and that what you receive will be more than just repayment. It will be a testimony that your life mattered, that your love had purpose, that your generosity transformed more than you ever knew. You may not see the results today or tomorrow. You may have to walk by faith for longer than you hoped, but do not believe for a moment that your story ends in emptiness. You were created to see abundance rise out of your sacrifice, to witness beauty emerge from the places you thought were barren. Every prayer you whispered over someone who was hurting, every dollar you gave when you hardly had enough for yourself, every time you chose to believe in a better outcome, even when your heart was breaking, all of it is being gathered up. All of it is being counted, and all of it will return to you multiplied beyond what you dared to expect. When that day comes, you will know without a doubt that you were never forgotten, never overlooked, never unappreciated. You will see that grace has always been keeping track, always preparing to surprise you with blessings that will heal the wounds you carried and restore the hope you thought was gone. So keep giving, keep loving, keep trusting that nothing is wasted, because the measure you have given will not only come back to you, it will overflow into every corner of your life and remind you that you were part of something so much bigger than yourself.